PhorFront here with you today, and we're going to talk to Nadia. We're talking hair today. So Nadia, go ahead and introduce yourself and your brand.
So my name is Nadia. I just co-partnered with Hair Extra. It's an online hair company. We're actually working on opening up a store right now. Mm-hmm. So I do the brand and the marketing for them, mm-hmm. and just helping keep face with who we are, what we do, just trying to brand our hair. We also sell lashes as well, mink and regular lashes, little synthetic lashes, I guess you can call them. And that's just like a little roundabout of what we do. We're getting ready to go to China to meet some hair distributors and just trying to get more wholesales people that we can partner with, mm-hmm. to help brand our company a little bit more. So check us out. We're at Hair Extra _shop on IG.
So what influenced you to get started with Hair Extra?
So in college I was really like high on the mind of like wanting to always have a different look. So I would do red hair, blonde hair, next thing you know I'm probably rocking blue, red hair. I just always was having some type of weave in my head. Mm-hmm. And I love the look of being able to change up your demeanor. Yeah. And I just think that honestly it gives you kind of like a boost of confidence of knowing like you can rock these different type of hair styles and hair textures. So my older cousin is the lady who I partnered with for Hair Extra. And my goal was to just kind of help people understand, you're beautiful without weave first and foremost. But this, obviously as women, we like to throw on makeup and enhance our beauty. That's a better way of looking at it and saying that. But our main focus, which allowed for me to come on board, was the help for people with alopecia. So my cousins, she's actually my second cousin, but her mother is my grandmother's sister, if that makes sense. That's why we're second cousins. And her mother had alopecia. So currently we're working with the Alopecia Association to be able to partner with them and will be able to sell our products within like their manufacturing stores for people who need hair. Mm-hmm. So that was what brought me aboard, because I like to help people. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of people are in the hair industry and are in the lash industry, but the question is, what is your focus? How do you want to help people feel better about themselves? And I think that a lot of people out there who do have this sickness, they don't really have a place that's made specifically for them. Mm-hmm. So that's what we really touch on helping, and that's what brought me along. Like I said, within hair, having a sew-in versus like having a glue-in. What do you think I have in my hair? Do you think it's a glue-in or
So, girl, it looked like all yours. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna say it's yours
because you asked. I feel like it's a trick question.
It looks so pretty and natural, y'all.
It does. It looks like
so
her.
gorgeous.
Yeah. No, if she wouldn't have asked that, I would have just been like, "Oh, it's yours," or at the very minimum a sew-in. But because you asked, I feel like
we don't know.
I don't. Is it glued in?
It's
because you asked. Okay.
Wow.
It's a glue-in.
That's a really good one.
I would have never, y'all. I would have never known. When she was sitting here earlier, and I was just like, her hair is really long and it's so healthy. That's how I felt. I'm like, it's so healthy.
What product do you use?
Right.
That's my go-to when I'm trying to do something really quick and I don't have time to go get it done. I'm like, okay, let me just do a glue-in, because I'm really impatient when it comes to sew-ins. I can do it. I don't have time to be sitting down.
Wait, you do it yourself?
If I'm rushing, yeah. So I get it done.
You see me?
Okay, girl.
But I was rushing this time and I needed to get my hair done, like period. So I'm like, I don't have time to go actually sit at the salon. I was so busy this week. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do a quick weave, call it a day.
You guys, you need to purchase from her because it looks amazing. Okay.
So do you do tutorial? Look now.
No, I haven't done tutorials, but I thought about doing tutorials but I feel like so many people do tutorials. I feel like why just fall into the mix? But there are some people who, if they don't have time to do sew-ins or if they just want to learn how, it's really simple. Like, and it's less time consuming. I think a lot of people think when you do quick weaves that the glue is bad for your hair. Here's the key. You have a product that protects your real hair. Okay. So even though there's some people that use the gel, you can braid your hair back and put a protective style base on it. I forgot the name, but they have a protective style you can place on your hair before you glue the actual weave on it.
Okay.
So, and then they also have glue removal that you can put on your hair so it won't damage the hair.
Okay.
So there are some people who get impatient and they'll rip the tracks out, like, or not rip it out, but they'll, you know, soak it and then like rip it out. That's not good for your hair.
Right.
So it's all about how you maintain it, how you keep it intact, and the products that you use to help out with it.
And making sure you're removing it safely. So I can see that because I would probably
Rip
be
it
the
out.
one. Yeah.
Not have any hair on our head.
Yeah.
But also to go along with that, I know I was asking a million questions earlier about the lashes. So give us a breakdown of this because I know so many people, like from what you were telling me, they're going to be so interested. So just as far as like what the quality of the hair, how long do they last? Where do they go? You know, do they go on skin? Where are they being attached to? So give us some of that.
Okay, so you have the difference between mink lashes and the regular lashes. Kind of goes back to weave, having synthetic weave, having real Indian hair or Brazilian hair. The difference between mink lashes and the regular lashes is that mink lasts longer. So it's more natural. A lot of people use mink for individual lashes, and when they implement them in, I've never implemented lashes, so I can't tell you necessarily where exactly they go, but I've gotten them done and I know when I've seen them in my own eyes, some of them are connected to my actual lash, and then some are placed in between the lashes. The difference between the individuals and the strips is the glue. So they don't really necessarily, they use a certain glue with the individuals, but it's not like hair glue.
Okay.
That some people, or eyelash glue, that some people use for lashes. I know I was telling you earlier today with my lashes, with my strips, I was using hair glue at one point in time. Only because it matches with the hair. It's dark. It's not white like so it meshes well and it lasts longer. And I don't have to worry about my eyelash coming off at the end of the night. So
that would be terrible.
Yeah, it was. I've had problems like that before, so I'm like, I would just stick to the hair. But what was bad about that was I would rip my lashes off and I was done. But I'm like, I'm just done with them. Take them off and I'll rip them off, and that's not good. Or I'll use like an oil base and I'll rub it in my eyes and it'll come off. But then I would have to go buy new lashes. So that was a waste of money. So that's the difference between the regular lashes versus the mink lashes. And the individuals, I know you were saying it's kind of like hard to get used to. But the great thing about it is that it allows your real lashes to kind of grow out over the course of time and become more fuller. So, because you're not putting that product on it every day, like you're not putting a strip on it every day with the hair glue, and it's actually allowing your real lashes to breathe. So it's not covering it up like a track. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
So.
And that's so cool. When you told me that, I was like, wait, okay, so if I put the individuals on, it's going to help my eyelashes grow. So I thought that was really cool. I never knew that, and I kind of feel like it's the same process as your hair, so that was really dope. If you guys didn't know that, when you invest, because initially I was like, why are people paying $200 and $300 for, like, why are we doing this? But now that you clarify, it makes so much more sense. Like, I would invest in it now.
And I would say, I don't know who pays $200, but I know somebody who would charge $95. So if you want that low price, hit me up.
DM girl.
But it is pricey because sometimes people will think like $95, but it trust me, it's worth it. Like, I don't know about $200, but I've seen that price before. I'm like,
she tripping.
Like, probably won't go there,
but yeah, it is. I hate the process of getting it done because I think you said you fell asleep before too, right?
Well, I know when I had strips on before, they were really, really heavy. So me personally, I'm not a fan of lashes because one, I know it's something that you have to get used to. But now what you're saying, the individuals, those sound a little bit more tempting. So I would have to try those one day.
And you can't tell if you have them on either. Like they're so light. The first day it's kind of heavy, but when you wake up, it's like over the course of time you forget that you have them on. Like there's been times where I would rub my eye, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm sorry. Oh shit, I got fake lashes on, I can't do this. So, but and then the way that you clean them is a little differently, which I had to kind of get used to because I'm so used to washing my face and really thoroughly washing my face and my eyes, and I can't really do that when I have my lashes. I have to go around, or I'll have to spray a a facial spray on my eyes, like it's like a mist, and then they give me a brush and I just brush them out. So
Okay.
it's a different way of cleaning it, but it's a great investment though. You'll do like it.
You've taken us into Hair Extra. We found out about lashes, the type of hair that you sell. So what for you do you consider having one goal for 2018? It can be either personal or business. Like, what's one goal that you see for yourself?
One goal I see myself having is just being more of an entrepreneur. I work full time doing logistics, and I worked there for a while because I wanted to utilize my degree. I have a background in marketing and business, but that's not my dream job. I love the people I work with. Let me say that first and foremost. I'm appreciative of having my job, but working for somebody else and then setting your own hours, I think you would probably want to choose to set your own hours.
Exactly.
So, and then aside from that, even though I know we spoke a lot about the hair and the lashes, I'm also working on the side with creating a cleaning service for commercial real estate, but not even just commercial real estate, for Black-owned minority businesses. So we are currently in the midst of that. We just opened up the actual building. It's on state, and we're renovating it right now, so it'll be up pretty soon, probably within the next month and a half, actually.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, so aside from that, and then opening up Hair Extra, the actual store, but that's kind of, the Hair Extra will be further down, though. That's really, we're more so just trying to build the brand itself online first, and getting wholesalers and retail sellers.
That is so awesome. And then also just your drive, like you're very driven, you're very goal oriented, and I think that's so amazing. And our culture, period. I think even with me and Shine just starting out with PhorFront, just sitting down, and each time that we do an interview, it's even more inspiration that we get. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of hours that you put into, and aside from, like you're saying, having your 9 to 5, you have to put just as much time into your dreams.
Exactly.
And we appreciate you for that, because you let us see that it's possible.
It is
if you put in the work, have the faith, you can make it happen.
And you're doing multiple businesses, so you all caught that, right?
Multiple.
So with the commercial cleaning, like, that's amazing, you know what I mean? So you're doing that on top of your regular 9 to 5 and on top of Hair Extra. So that's amazing. That's a lot of drive, and I think that is very important. How do you stay motivated?
I stay motivated because, for one, I know this may sound cliche, but I have faith in God, for one. I pray every day. Like, I meditate, and I'm really new into meditating. Actually, I just got the sage. This is my first time using sage, and meditating and just staying faithful and having that drive and trusting God's choices for you when He has space. Again, I know that sounds so cliche, but there was a time where, when I first graduated and I had a well-paying job, and I bought my new car right after graduation, was so ecstatic on having my car. I go into the office, and the CEO, we found out, was embezzling money. So they let go a third of us within the company. And I was furious, honestly, because at the time, I'm fresh out of college. I just bought my car. I'm thinking, how am I going to be able to pay my car note? And I just lost my job, because of this. So I was Ubering for a little bit, and then when I got into logistics, that's when I started to work full time. And then before I even got into logistics, I moved out to Atlanta thinking that I wanted to start over and start fresh. But the procurement opportunities weren't really up to date, and I shouldn't say up to date, but up to par as the opportunities here in Chicago. Just like the pay range of it, the minimum wage, and just living is very different. It was a great experience, but coming back here and starting, not really starting over, but just trusting God and seeing Him open doorways and other avenues was so inspiring for me. It was, because there were moments where I'm like, how am I going to get through this? But I always had faith that I'm going to get through it. It was just a matter of how I'm going to get there. I knew I was going to get there, just didn't know how. So that's the main key, I would say. And again, it's not to be, I'm not trying to be cliche. I'm saying you have to have that faith when it comes down to handling those things.
You do. So. You definitely do. And I think a key thing that you said too is, you had the faith that it was going to happen. So she knew that it was going to happen. It was just more so how, right? But it's important too not to get caught up on how. Because if you get caught up on it, then you'll start to try to do things on your own. You're really going to try to figure it out, like, how am I going to do this? But God is like, no, I don't. You're not doing this. I'm doing this. What I need you to do is trust in me, believe in me.
Absolutely.
I need you to relax. Basically, is what he's saying. He's like, I need you to relax. I got this. But, you know, sometimes it's hard, you know what I'm saying, like, to relax and to let him take the wheel. You know, sometimes we'll say, like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to let God handle it, or, yeah, Lord, take the wheel, right? But we still turn and worry internally about how is it going to happen. And it's like, no, you're worrying, so it's not really you being faithful. So I would love to hear that, you know, like, that's what you did. You're like, look, I'm going to, look, this is really your battle. Let me sit back and I'm going to ride.
Yeah, because everyone has a story, you know. Everyone we see on social media and stuff like that, people see the glitz and glam, but it's like, you know, you don't know the struggle that you have to go through to get where you're at. So, you know, if you're willing to put in the work, definitely God will take care of you. Take care of the rest.
And he's been taking care of you. So that way we can support you, right? What's your web address? Where can you be reached?
Yes. You guys can reach us at www.hairextrashop.com. So again, that's www.hairextrashop.com. And then you can find us on Instagram at hairextra_shop. And if you purchase, if this is your first time purchasing, you can use my promo code. It's Nadia15, and you can get a discount off of your first purchase. So just throwing that out there for you guys.
That's a plug. And I caught it.
So yes, support us.
Absolutely. Well, Nadia, it was a pleasure speaking with you today, letting the world get to know you. So guys, stay tuned. Peace out.
See ya.